In the fall of 2020, I started building a downhill track at this hill I've been looking at for a couple of years. Like everyone else, I needed something not to lose my mind during Corona. And thanks to the internet, I found a couple of dudes who wanted to help out. During that fall, we got quite a lot done, as you've seen previously on this channel. But then snow shut us down for the winter. However, we did have this idea to arrange a small downhill race on the track in the spring. That was gonna require a lot more work though. Could we make it happen?
It's been almost 6 months since I rode a downhill track. Today my Czech and I are gonna check it out again.
Let's roll down the track in the state it was when snow was gone in the beginning of 2020. And I'll show you what we built. So this straight section is boring since all you're doing is basically braking into the corner. So we felt it needed a feature. We decided to build 2 tight corners like a speed trap to make the deceleration more interesting. And I think it did make that section more interesting. The next feature that needed some work was this jump. It had a flat landing that stole too much of your speed, especially since there's a flat section after the jump. So we built a small landing to help it flow better. So this is the flat section after the jump, leading into this steep, sketchy corner. Followed by another steep, sketchy corner.
So today we're planning on giving this section a bit of love. Let's see my Czech handle it. He's actually the only one who's done it. To see where we need to work.
It is a cliche, but this is sketchier than what it looks like on video, especially in the wet.
Yeah, I think that's where we should work the first. Build that berm up so you can push away better.
So it may not look like a lot of work, but at least for 2 office dudes like me and my Czech, this takes time. We probably spent like 2 hours working on this section. That to the left is where we just worked, and now we're continuing to build some better support on the rest of this section. After this section, you dive into the forest and the rock garden. The rock garden is ended with a sharp turn leading into the longest flattish section of the track. So we wanted to build more of a berm here to help carry speed into the flat section. The berm got better, but this is a section we need to revisit and build up the berm even more. Before winter, the track would turn left here and go onto a walking path. It wasn't a good solution, so we started a reroute. Even though it would mean that the track would become kinda flat for like 50 meters. It took quite some time to build this section, which kind of felt like a waste of time since it's easily the most boring part of the track. And since the section is kinda slow, it's hard to build features that makes it more interesting. I guess all tracks must have one kind of boring section to make you appreciate the fun stuff. And maybe it's a nice breather before you go into the final section. We ended that flat section with 2 small berms and a small shark fin jump, shooting you out into crossing the old ski slope. In the ski slope we built the berms you can carry speed a couple of meters up the hill again before you dive into the forest on the other side. The forest part is only like 25 meters or so, but it has a steep section with loose rocks that's quite cool. The GoPro battery died though, so there's not much video from building that part. But we made it! We now had a track, so we could organize a small race! The race was a great inauguration of our new track. And man, does it look better in the green. After summer 2021, the construction work was started at the top of the hill. And it stole the first 50 meters of our track. We have a plan for the reroute though. But let's do a complete run through the track so you can see it in all its glory. This is in November 2021. We've been doing continuous work on this track, and another track I'll show you in a minute. And together we probably spent like 200 hours digging away. This is the beeline around the steep, sketchy corners that U1 and his son built. And man, the track gets slippery in these autumn conditions. You always have a ton of washing to do after an autumn ride here. I've stopped filming all the digging though, so if you want to experience it, you'd either have to come ride the track or come help out with the digging. Because although the track is complete, there's thousands of things that can be improved or added. We put a small jump here, but a couple of rollers would probably be better. Feel like digging? Oh, watch out for little old ladies. Here we've recently built a small reroute. The track goes straight for another 5 meters before it dies down the steeps. And now you jump over that big rock to the left. All in all, it's a pretty nice 1 to 2 minute long track, with some challenging parts for an average rider. Now, let's have a look at a new track.
New track, vertigo, because, well, you get it. This top part isn't that technical, but with exposure to the left, it becomes not really sketchy, but scary. Same here, isn't really that technical, but the exposure to the left and this rock garden, and then this leaf infested thing also adds quite the sketch factor. All right, into the enduro part of the track, going uphill. Getting back into the rocks and stuff. So this track is under construction, but it's rideable now. But this berm is something that is gonna need a bit more work. And we do need a bit of bench cutting here. And some berms there into the old highway to hell track.
Like trail building content? Click the lower right video to see my trail building series. And dude, likes and subs are free.